The discussion about sort of what's the state of U.S. energy, the prospects for energy independence, I think are missing some really key points. We're actually seeing a significant increase in energy production across a wide array of technologies in the United States. In the last 3 years, we've doubled the amount of power we generate from the wind. We've seen almost a doubling of the amount of power we generate from solar. But we're also at an all-time high in terms of natural gas production in the United States, and an 8-year high in terms of oil production. So that all suggests that we're actually making the kinds of investments that are necessary to meet a growing demand for energy in the United States. But more importantly is to recognize that we do live in an interdependent world. The nature of how we engage in terms of trade and our economic relations with other countries in the world, how consumers all over the world are drawing off of the same energy resources and competing for them, should be taken into account when we think about our energy policy. When I hear people say we need to be energy independent, that doesn't mean we're going to be immune to what happens in other parts of the world that may affect, say, the global oil market. Norway has, in a sense, been energy independent for decades as a net exporter of oil, and yet consumers pay more for gasoline there when the price of oil globally goes up. It's important to recognize that even as we produce more here at home, because of the interdependent nature of the global economy, we'll see actually the price of energy in the United States going up, even as demand for energy increases among consumers in Asia, or when we see major producers of energy going offline, like in the past year in Libya as a result of the Arab Spring. Certainly there are benefits to producing more at home, to investing in the technology, to investing in the manufacturing capacities, but it's just as important to actually reduce the amount of electricity we need to consume or the oil we need to consume to actually turn on your lights or drive your car a mile or two down the road to pick up, say, a gallon of milk at the grocery. That all these actually have an important effect in making us more resilient to the fluctuations in the energy markets. When we look at sort of the future of climate change, there's certainly a lot of uncertainty anytime someone wants to forecast out, say, 50 to 100 years. But we're looking at a world that will be significantly warmer. At first blush, one might say, hey, I may like a warmer winter. But when we're talking about temperatures that may be 5 or 10 degrees warmer than what they are now, that actually means things like very poor output from our farms. And so we actually see food prices rising around the world. It's not just, we have to pay more for our food. We will see some parts of the world really running short of food, and where you will see this climate change-induced risk of famine that'll have really adverse consequences for large populations. We may see storms changing, where we may see actually a world in which you have more severe hurricanes, much more intense flooding. So it starts to actually raise concerns about these kinds of, if you will, weather shocks that will actually reduce the quality of life for people in the United States and around the world.